Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. You joined me this evening on the Long Mynd. I've come here to do my first ever solo wild camp. A little bit nervous, but also really excited. The reason I've come to the Long Mynd is precisely because of that. Because it's my first solo wild camp, I'd like to have the ability to get back to the car should things not work out properly. So I reached out to Dave Outdoors, who I've mentioned on this channel a couple of times. And I said, you know, if you got somewhere in mind that I could go to that I could easily get back to the car, that is going to have some good views, and he recommended the Long Mynd to me. So here I am. And the reason I've come out today to do a solo wild camp is because I reached out to a company called Nightcat. Nightcat are a company that make a lot of camping equipment, specifically tents. They also make, I think, chairs and other camping items. I'll put a link to their company in the description below. But they very, very kindly sent me a tent to test. Now, I'm really excited to use this tent because it's the sort of tent that I've been looking at for a while, specifically with the thought of landscape photography, because, you know, we're always carrying a lot of really heavy, bulky items. So the smaller and the lighter I can get my tent, potentially the more camera equipment I can get in there, but also the more I can save my back, to be honest with you. So they've sent me this, which is the Nightcat Ultralight tent. It's a Lanshan style tent, and those, if you're not familiar with Lanshan style tents, basically they come with no poles. So this one here, what you actually do is you use your trekking pole as the pole for the tent. It weighs 950 grams. As you can see, it packs up to practically nothing. It's marginally bigger than my hand, to be honest with you. So I'm really, really excited to use this. So come along with me and I'll give you an update when we get to camp.
Okay, so I've been walking for about 15 minutes and just down in the valley over there had the most beautiful crepuscular rays. I've never seen one like it, to be honest with you. It's just almost like a one single beam of light coming down, just lighting up a set of trees just over there. I wanted to get a photo, but by the time I'd got my bag off, it had gone. So I ain't got my capture clip today because I'm carrying so much, to be honest with you. But just found these trees here. They're not going to work now, but there is potential for some fog in the morning. So maybe this is one to come to. Nice single lone tree. The valley below kind of all just covered in mist. Let's see what happens anyway, but not too far from the camp now. See you in a bit. Just realised it's 30 minutes till sunset. Let's get a move on. Absolutely beautiful. You've got to, haven't you? It's the law. So we've arrived. And how's this for a bit of prime real estate? Great shout, Dave. So going to get the tent set up now and I'll talk you through the process, but getting a bit of colour in the sky just over here. But I'm not really bothered about the photography tonight. Tonight is just about getting this tent set up and just chilling out. In the morning, we'll walk around here and see what we can find. Right then, let's get this open and get it up. Just 2 clips on here. Unfold that, and out comes the tent. First impressions, I had this out already at home because I was attaching the guy lines. If you are buying one of these, just realise it's probably best to set this up at home before you come out, because, as I say, you don't want to get on camp you're having to tie these guide lines on. But yeah, it's a very thin material, but that all adds to the lightweight. It's apparently got a 5,000 millimeter hydrostatic head on the fly sheet, and also a 5,000 millimeter hydrostatic head on the floor here. But I'll talk through some more of the specs once I've got it up. Apparently it's quite an easy tent to put up, so let's get started. First start by laying it out, pulling out the corners, got these guy ropes here, so you just pull those out either side just to get the shape really to begin with. And we start pegging those out really to get the shape. It comes with this bag of pegs, you can see here. You also get some material to do any repairs that you might need to do as well, which is really good. These are the pegs you've got. So you've got this sort of this cross section sort of style to them. Seem quite solid, very lightweight as well, which is perfect. Right, let's start putting these pegs in the ground. So you don't want to do this too tight to begin with, just to get the actual shape. So we'll just plop one in there, another one in here. Just give it a little bit of tension just so you can get the shape, and then another one in here. Again, just a little bit of tension, just to give it its shape. Next, go around and find these little loops on each corner of the fly sheet. Just put that over the pegs that you put in the ground, like so. And do that on each corner. Right, the light is fading really fast, so I really need to get a move on with this. But once you've got those four corners pegged out, it's time to introduce a trekking pole. I'm using a black diamond alpine carbon here. Only recently bought this when I did my ankle in, so used it a couple of times in the Lake District. An absolute game changer when you're doing distances or you're going uphill or downhill. So let's get this in the tent. Okay, so what you do is you go up inside the tent here, and you'll see around just above this vent here there's this really strong reinforced bit. It's like sort of backed up with kind of plastic here, and that's where you want to put the handle on your walking stick. So up inside, just locate it in that little gap. Once you've got the trekking pole in the top there, you need to then locate this little kind of rivet just here, if you can just see that, and put the bottom of the trekking pole into there. Then you can start to adjust the height of the pole. So I'm not entirely sure what height to do it to. On some of the reviews I've read, people have done it to about 125 centimeters. So if I just take a quick look here on the top one, set that to 125, which is about there. And then we'll adjust the bottom one once we're in. Like so. Make sure you've got enough tension there. I think that's pretty good. Once you've got the pole, and it's time to start doing the guy line. Now, one thing I have just remembered from watching another video is you've got this kind of two-pronged plastic piece here, which holds onto these two pieces of guy line here. And these basically go on one side of the door, each side. So you need to make sure that is in there before you put this in. So now that's in, I can bring out the guy line, nice and tight. Make sure I go in at a nice 45-degree angle. And that's pretty much the tent starting to take shape. So just going to go around now, do the rest of the guy lines, and I'll talk to you some more about the tent. Okay, so that's all of the pegs done. Just need to go around and tighten everything up. All right, that's all tensioned up. It was lovely and solid, I must say. Quite easy to put up in the end. It was a bit of a faff for me because I've never actually put it up before. But yeah, in the end, it was very, very easy. Next time it'll be a lot quicker. But initial impressions, seems very well built. As I say, it's got a very thin material to it, but that's to keep the weight down. But as I say, it's supposedly got a 5,000 millimeter hydrostatic head, which should keep most of the rain out. Good ventilation, so you've got the top vent here, but also down the bottom, you've got quite a big gap here to let the wind in as well. And then inside, I'll talk to you through it in a bit, but it's got pretty much an entire sort of mesh interior. So yeah, very, very happy. This door here has this kind of thickened plastic stone flap, which should keep the most of the rain out. And all the guy points have got little reinforced patches just to give it that extra bit of support. So very, very impressed. Today the weather has completely changed. It's been really windy all day, and I've got it here now, and there's not a single breath of wind in the air at all. So it's not going to be a true test of the tent in that regards, I don't think, unless anything changes in the night. But yeah, very, very impressed. Okay, so I've just set up all my bedding and stuff, and yeah, gonna have some food. Bought myself a, made it at home actually, a vegetable soup from a tin, and put it in this flask here, and a couple of little crusty baguettes from Lidl. So yeah, looking forward to this. I can't believe how warm it is. Considering it's nearly the middle of November, driving over here today, I think my car was showing it was about 18 degrees, and it doesn't feel particularly cold now. I mean, didn't expect to be sitting out here in just a fleece near the middle of November. So I'm going to have this food. I'll show you my setup I've got inside, and I'll show you a bit about the inside of the tent. But because it's got dark so bloody quickly, I'll give you a proper look around the tent first thing in the morning once it starts to get a bit lighter.
Okay, so it's been a while since I gave you an update. I've just been chilling out really. Had the camera out for a short while, taking a photo of the tent and playing about with some lights. I'll put that photo on the screen in a moment's time. But other than that, yeah, I watched the F1 qualifying and had a quick beer. So yeah, just settling down for the evening. It's surprisingly very warm. It's about 13 degrees apparently, according to my phone. So it's very, very unusual for November. But the tent seems absolutely fantastic. It's a little bit more cramped, I would say, than my other tent, the Helm Compact 2. But you know, that's the trade-off for going for an ultralight tent, to be honest with you. But yeah, perfectly comfortable. I'm going to show you out in the vestibule. So you've got quite a decent sized vestibule really. Enough room for a 65-litre bag. Got my beer there. Plenty of room there to cook in the morning, do myself a coffee. So can't really complain, to be honest with you. It's perfect. And then just on the other side here, you've got this little area where you can store loads of stuff basically. So you see I've got my iPad there, phone, clothes, other bits and bobs. So yeah, you've got enough storage in here for most things really. So for a landscape photographer, plenty of room to store your gear, which has always been one of the things that's put me off these sort of tents, to be honest with you. So yeah, very happy. So I think I'm just going to settle down for the evening, have another beer. I'm drinking a can of neck oil, which a friend bought me for my birthday, so thank you very much for that. Probably one of my favourite beers at the minute, absolutely beautiful. So other than that, yeah, I'm just going to settle down, watch some YouTubes and just enjoy the night. The winds have completely died down, so it's lovely and calm and peaceful. So I'll give you an update in the morning.
Well, good morning. Had a good night's sleep in the nightcat. Really warm last night, to be honest with you. I bought a new sleeping bag for winter, which is the OEX Leviathan 900 or something. But yeah, I think at some points I was probably a bit too warm. But woken up this morning to a really beautiful, calm, still morning. But I don't know if we're going to get anything photographically this morning. It's very overcast. And yeah, I don't know, not sure what's going to happen. But got up anyway. It's about half an hour before sunrise. Made myself a coffee. So just gonna wait for it to get a little bit lighter, and then what I'm going to do is give you a bit of a walk around the tent. I didn't really get a chance to do last night because it got dark so bloody quickly. But after I've done that, I'll pack away and start to head up onto that hill just there behind me. It's got views out looking out towards Wales. So if we're quite lucky, we'll get a bit of light that's sort of casting into the valleys over there. If not, it might be a bit of a dud in terms of photography. But anyway, it's been great getting out, doing my first solo camp, and yeah, fantastic location. Really enjoyed it. Okay, so some other features of the tent that I didn't really get a chance to speak about last night. On the doors, you've got these little tabs which are used to basically tie the door back. And when you open that up, you've got quite a big area to sort of cook in, or you know, just basically sit in really. So that's really good. I did show you last night as well, but the vestibule is a really good size, so great for storing kit. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. and then I'll take you inside and have a look in there. Okay, so inside the tent here, as I mentioned, you've got a really good sized vestibule, easily fit a 65 litre pack in there. Great for storing your kit. I've got my trekking pole here, which is fantastic. The zips themselves, really good quality, no issues there at all. Have got a bit of condensation this morning, but it was a very, very still night, and it did get quite cold in the end. So fully to be expected, to be honest with you. As I mentioned earlier, you've got great ventilation as well. You can probably see the vent up there, and on the door, if I get down a bit lower there, you can just make out that, you know, it's quite a big gap there to let the air flow through. So brilliant. Inside the tent, just above me there, you can just make out there's a little thing to hang a lantern on, and it is quite cramped in here, I'm not going to lie, but with the nature of the tent, you know, what do you expect? It's enough to get one man in and his kit, and it did that just fine. So as you can see, I've got my bed in, but I've got a bit of space here to store equipment, which is good. And then the only thing I'm not too sure about is the floor. Hasn't really got much of a bathtub, so if you are in really wet conditions, you might want to be careful about where you pitch, because if you do get a bit of a, you know, wet patch, it might come into the tent, so just want to be careful about that. But as you can see, the inner sheet is all really like a light mesh, which again adds to the airflow. So really cozy night in here. As I say, not the most spacious tent, but it's not meant to be. So as you can probably guess, I'm very, very happy with the tent. It seems very well built. All the seams are taped and double stitched, as well as all the anchor points for the guy lines. So yeah, it feels very, very solid. The only other thing people have mentioned, and I'll mention it here as well, is the size of the Nightcat logo just down there. For me, it's a non-issue. Yeah, okay, it is quite big, but it keeps you dry, seems well built, that's all you want. So with that, I'm going to start taking it down and make my way back to the car. If I see any photo opportunities on the way back, I'll stop and let you know, but at the moment it's not looking very likely. Alright, all packed up. Had a quick walk round, make sure I've not left any rubbish. Apart from a bit of flattened grass over here, you wouldn't have been here, so yeah, if you are coming out to our camp, please leave no trace. As I suspected, it's not really a photography day. Looking down to the valley over there, just completely flat, really hazy, so yeah. Those watching trying to see some photos in this video, I think you're going to be disappointed, but nevertheless, had a great camp. Okay, just walking past these trees here, which I spoke about last night. They're not going to work today, but definitely one to return to in the future when you've got a nice, potentially cloud inversion. But I stopped and got the camera out and did a handheld shot on my telephoto lens of this patch of light on the land over here. Nothing particularly special, but at least I managed to get the camera out this morning and grab a shot. So I'll pop it on the screen now. Not too far back to the car now, so I'll give you an update when I get back to the car.
So my mic fell out of me at this point, but I was saying how unfortunately I didn't manage to get any more images on the way back to the car. However, I still had a fantastic time on my first solo wild camp. I also wanted to take the opportunity to thank Nightcat for sending me the tent to review. Honestly, I loved it, and it will be coming with me on so many more wild camps. Anyway, I really hope you enjoy watching this video. If you have, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel. It really does help. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I really enjoy reading them and responding to every single one of them. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.